On a rough day at sea, you do not have to pay the medical center to stop feeling green. Guest services very often has free seasickness tablets sitting right there for the taking, and most of the ship is too busy gripping the handrail to notice. That is the whole game on a cruise. There are about 60 things you have already paid for tucked into your fare, sitting there free, and the people who sail well are simply the ones who know to ask for them. So let me walk you through all 60 groups so they are easy to remember. I am starting with the ones that matter most to those of us over 65, because a few of these are the difference between a comfortable week and a miserable one. Now, two quick promises before we begin. Some of these vary by cruise line and by ship, and I will tell you exactly where so you are never the one quoting me to a confused crew member. And keep an ear out for number 57, because that one is real money walking off the ship in someone else's pocket, and it is almost always yours. Number one, free seasickness tablets. The trick most people miss is the timing. Those tablets work far better as prevention than as a rescue, so the move is to ask on the first morning before the water kicks up, not while you are already turning green and clutching the rail. I was on an Alaska sailing through a genuinely rough stretch of the Inside Passage, and guest services had a dish of them out by the desk like mints at a restaurant free for the taking. One honest note here, though. A few lines have started charging $1 or $2 per dose, so this perk is drifting, but the vast majority still hand them over for nothing. Number two, distilled water for your machine. Here is the tip I wish more CPAP users knew before they fly out. Nearly every major line will provide distilled water and an extension cord for your machine at no charge, so you do not have to drag a jug through the airport. The smart move is to request it when you book and confirm it with your room steward on day one. Some stewards are so used to it that they spot the machine and leave a jug in your cabin before you ever bring it up. Sleep apnea is common at our age, and a week of bad sleep can wreck a trip, so do not gamble on packing your own water. Mention it the moment you board. Number three, earplugs at guest services. This one rescued a woman I got talking to over breakfast one morning. Her husband had forgotten his CPAP at home, the snoring was apocalyptic, and she was eyeing a deck chair to sleep in by night 2. They mentioned it to guest services almost as a joke, and the crew handed over a pair of earplugs free. Ships keep them on hand, so if the cabin next door has a loud air vent or your travel partner saws logs, you do not have to lie there and suffer. Stroll down to the desk and ask. Number four, a shower stool or chair. Cruise ship bathrooms are small, and a wet tile floor with a bit of ship motion is exactly the kind of thing that worries people our age, and rightly so. Many lines will bring a shower stool or a bath chair to your cabin if you request it, often free, so you can sit while you wash instead of white-knuckling the grab bar. Ask for this in advance when you can, because supplies are limited and they go first to the people who booked early. I will be straight with you. A few ships have refused these, citing their own liability rules, so confirm it directly rather than assuming it will be there. Number five, a bed rail or a bed bridge. Almost nobody thinks to request this. If your bed feels too high or you are nervous about rolling out in a strange dark room, some ships can provide a bed rail. And if you booked a cabin with two twin beds shoved together and there is that annoying gap and ridge running down the middle, ask your steward for a bed bridge, the foam wedge that fills the gap and turns two twins into one real bed. They do not advertise it. It just sits in a closet until someone asks for it by name. Number six, wheelchair assistance at the pier. Embarkation and disembarkation mean a lot of walking, long terminals, longer lines, and standing around for ages. Every major line offers free wheelchair or escort assistance to get you from the terminal door to the ship and back again. And what surprises people is that you do not have to prove anything medically, you simply have to request it. If your knees or your back are not what they were, there is no prize for limping through a half-mile terminal on principle. Book it ahead, and an escort meets you and skips you past the worst of the lines. Number seven, hearing and large print help in the theater. Trouble hearing the shows is more common than anyone admits, and most ships carry assistive listening devices you can borrow for the main theater free, with hardly anyone knowing to ask. The same desk can usually get you a large print copy of the daily program and the dinner menus. You paid for those Broadway-style shows. You ought to be able to hear the punchlines. A quiet word at guest services on the first day sorts it for the whole week. Number eight, a fan for an inside cabin. Booked one of those windowless cabins with no balcony? The air can feel still, and you have nowhere to dry a damp swimsuit since you cannot hang it outside. Ask your steward for a fan. Many ships keep a small supply and will bring one to your room at no charge. It moves the air, it helps you sleep if you run warm, and it dries your suit overnight. A small thing that makes an inside cabin feel a lot less like a closet. From here, it is all about your cabin because there is a whole list of comfort items the ship will happily bring you, and not one of them shows up on your bill. Number 9, a bathrobe for the room. Standard cabins rarely have a robe hanging in the closet, so people figure robes are a suite-only luxury. On a lot of ships, they are not. Your steward can usually bring you one free just for asking. I will hedge this honestly because it genuinely varies. On some lines, the robe is tied to your loyalty tier or really is suite only, and the crew will tell you so. But on plenty of ships, a polite request gets a soft robe delivered the same day, and there are few nicer things at sea than coffee on the balcony at sunrise wrapped in one. Number 10, a pair of slippers. Same idea, same easy ask. They usually appear automatically only in the suites, but most ships keep extra pairs stored for guests who request them. A quick word to your steward, and a fresh wrapped pair shows up in your cabin. They are perfect for cold cabin floors and late night trips to the bathroom, and they save you padding around on the carpet in your bare feet. Number 11, the pillow menu. Ever woken up on a cruise with a stiff neck because the pillow was a brick or a pancake? A lot of lines run a quiet pillow menu, memory foam, soft, firm, hypoallergenic, and your steward will swap yours out or bring extras to layer. For those of us who do not sleep well on a strange pillow, this is genuinely worth doing on the first day. Just ask what pillow options the ship has. You are not being fussy. You are sleeping for 7 nights. Number 12, a mattress topper. Cruise beds can run firm, and if your back protests, ask your steward for a mattress topper or some extra padding. Most ships keep a few, especially for longer sailings. I will warn you though, because the forums are full of complaints on this one. The quality varies wildly. Some toppers are thin and barely worth the trouble, and a few lines have started charging for them. But on many ships, it is free, and it turns a hard bed into something you can actually sleep on. Ask, and if the topper disappoints, you have lost nothing but the question. Number 13, extra blankets, and an outdoor one too. Cabins get cold, especially on Alaska, Norway, or any windy sea day, and the ship keeps spare blankets you only have to request. Fewer people know about the next bit. Some lines will bring you an outdoor blanket for the balcony so you can sit out at sunrise or under the stars without freezing. Ask for one if you are sailing somewhere cool. Wrapped up on a quiet balcony watching the glaciers slide by beats anything in the gift shop. Number 14, extra towels. Every day, your cabin comes stocked with just enough towels for 2, and the steward will not add more unless you ask. Say you would like a few extra each day, bath towels and hand towels both, and they will appear free. No more drying off with this morning's damp one. Number 15, real wine glasses. Fancy a glass of red on the balcony at sunset? You do not have to drink it out of the plastic bathroom cup. Every bar on the ship has proper wine and champagne glasses, and your steward will bring a pair to your cabin, or you can pick them up at any bar yourself at no charge at all. It is a tiny thing that makes the evening feel like the vacation you paid for instead of a motel room. Number 16, your ice bucket, filled nightly. It does not refill itself, and most people never think to ask. Tell your steward you would like it topped up each evening, and it becomes part of your nightly service. Cold drinks whenever you want them, and a handy cool spot for medication that should not sit in the tiny cabin fridge. Number 17, a few more hangers. Closets never come with enough, and after you hang the formal night outfits, you run out fast. Your steward keeps a stack nearby. Ask for 10 more, and they turn up in minutes, free, so you are not draping clothes over every chair in the room. Number 18, a safe way to charge your devices. Cruise cabins are famous for having about 2 outlets, and the kicker is that the power strips and extension cords most people pack are banned as fire hazards and get pulled out of your bag at security. So here is the workaround. Do not try to smuggle a power strip aboard. Ask guest services for a ship-approved solution instead. Many ships can lend you a USB hub or a safe adapter, and some will send maintenance to free up an outlet for you. You stay on the right side of the safety rules, and you still get to charge your phone, your camera, and your hearing aids overnight. Number 19, those famous towel animals. The little swan folded onto the bed feels like a piece of old-school cruising that quietly vanished. On a lot of ships, it did not vanish. It just became a by request thing. Mention to your steward that you love towel animals, and many of them are delighted to show off because folding a monkey is more fun than vacuuming. It is a small free bit of magic, and if you are traveling with grandkids, it lands every single time. Number 20, the chocolate on your pillow. Same story as the towel animals. Most lines stop putting chocolates out at turn down to save money, so people assume the tradition is dead. Plenty of stewards still keep a small stash. Ask nicely, something like, "We really miss the old pillow chocolates," and more often than not, one appears that night. It costs nothing, and it brings back that classic feeling of walking into a tidy, dim cabin at night with a little treat waiting. Now to the food, because this is where the savings get real, and a few of these will genuinely surprise you. Number 21, the meal that is not on the menu. This is my favorite one, so let me give it some room. The printed menu is not the whole story. On most ships, if you build a good rapport with your waiter and the head waiter early, the kitchen will make you things that never appear in print. I sailed with an older gentleman who simply loved spinach, mentioned it the first night, and from then on, a big bowl of sautéed spinach arrived at his place every single evening without him asking again. Others get a daily bowl of fruit sent to the cabin the same way, or last night's dish they could not stop thinking about. Tell them what you love on night one. Once it is noted, the crew quietly takes care of you for the rest of the week, and it feels like having a private chef who happens to float. But number 22, tomorrow's dinner, ordered tonight. Got a real dietary need. Gluten-free, low-fat, low-sodium, a serious allergy? Here is the insider move. Tell the head waiter your restriction on the first night and ask to see tomorrow's menu at the end of each dinner. The kitchen will prep a custom version of the next night's meal with a full day of lead time, made just for you. Cruisers who manage tricky diets swear by this, and it is completely free. Instead of poking nervously at every plate and quizzing the waiter about ingredients, you sit down to a dish you already know is safe, planned a day ahead. For anyone who has spent a restaurant meal worrying about what is hiding in the sauce, that peace of mind is the real gift. Number 23, build your own surf and turf. On lobster night, here is a trick the regulars use. Order the steak as your entree, then ask for a lobster tail on the side, and the kitchen will usually plate you both at no upcharge, a surf and turf you assembled yourself. The low-carb and keto crowd swear by this on every formal night, steak and lobster, no fuss. One caveat the regulars will give you, a second lobster tail sometimes carries a charge, but the first one alongside your steak generally does not. Ask for it, and the most they will say is no. Number 24, more than one of everything. New cruisers do not realize the main dining room is essentially all you can eat. You are not locked into one appetizer, one entree, one dessert. Want to try 2 starters and skip the main course entirely? That is perfectly fine to do. Cannot decide between the cheesecake and the lava cake? Have them bring out both. A favorite move is asking for the cheese plate, usually listed as a dessert, brought out as an appetizer for the table. The waiters do this all day long. The only ships where you hit a wall are the few that specifically limit you or add a charge for a second entree, and they will tell you up front. Number 25, the diet version of anything. Beyond ordering ahead, most kitchens will quietly make gluten-free, vegan, or allergy-friendly versions of standard dishes at no extra cost. Gluten-free pizza, dairy-free dessert, a vegan pasta made fresh. The key is telling the head waiter early so it gets into the system and is remembered all week. This is not only about needs either. It is a sneaky way to get special versions of dishes that are not even printed on the menu. Number 26, breakfast in your cabin. One of the great quiet pleasures of cruising is continental breakfast delivered to your room. On most ships, you fill out the door hanger card the night before, hang it outside, and coffee, juice, pastries, and fruit arrive on your schedule while everyone else fights for a table at the buffet. For anyone with mobility trouble, this is more than a luxury. Several cruisers have told me they order in-cabin breakfast specifically so they do not have to make the long, woozy walk to the buffet first thing on an empty stomach, then turn around and walk back. Now the honest hedge, because this one is changing, a handful of lines, Norwegian among them, now add a small service fee of a few dollars for room service, and many tack on an automatic gratuity. The continental tray is still free or close to it on most lines, but check yours so the bill is not a surprise. Number 27, the free latte hiding at breakfast. Here is a small one the coffee drinkers love. People assume a cappuccino or a latte always costs extra at the coffee bar, and usually it does. But on some ships during the morning rush, a crew member is stationed near the buffet drink area making espresso drinks to keep the line moving, and those are sometimes free. It is not advertised and it is not on every sailing. Your best shot is early before the buffet gets crowded. Ask politely whether the cappuccino is included there and you might be pleasantly surprised. Number 28, the pastries are free even when the coffee is not. Walk past the fancy coffee shop and you will see a glass case full of croissants, tarts, little cheesecakes, and cookies. On many lines, the specialty coffee carries a charge, but the pastries themselves are free. Just ask whether the pastries are included. Often the answer is a cheerful yes, and you walk off with a plate of treats and only pay for the coffee if you even wanted one. Number 29, the better ice cream. The self-serve, soft-serve machine by the pool is no secret. What fewer people clock is that many ships also have premium ice cream or gelato tucked away at a pool bar or a quieter counter, and on plenty of lines it is free, just not advertised. Flavors rotate. Signage is thin, so people walk right past it. Ask a crew member if there is any ice cream or gelato going right now, and try it mid-afternoon when the crowds thin out. If it turns out to be a charge, you have lost nothing and the soft serve is still free. Number 30, a fruit plate to your cabin. Prefer something light and healthy in the room over a pastry? Ask your steward or the dining staff for a fruit plate. Melon, berries, grapes, sliced citrus brought to your cabin free, either as a one-time thing or set up daily. It is part of the ship's regular dining stock, so there is no charge, and it is perfect for an early port morning or a late snack out on the balcony. Number 31, late night snacks and warm milk. You do not have to go hungry after the dining room closes, and you do not have to pay for it. Most ships let you carry pizza, pastries, or a dessert plate back to your cabin yourself with no room service fee. And here is a cozy one for the night owls. Grab a couple of cookies from the buffet, then order a glass of milk from room service, warm if you ask, for a proper bedtime treat. Little touches like this are included in what you already paid. You just have to know they are on the table. Number 32, a proper afternoon tea. One of the most elegant rituals at sea is tea time, real tea in proper cups with finger sandwiches, scones, and little pastries, and on many lines it is completely free. It is often listed quietly in the daily program as tea time, which is why people miss it. I will hedge this one because it has been disappearing on some lines while staying alive and lovely on others, usually on sea days. Check your program or ask the dining room host. If your ship still does it, it is a calm, gracious break from the crowds, and it does not cost a thing. Number 33, the special buffet nights. Once or twice a sailing, the ship throws a themed buffet that is genuinely a spread, a chocolate extravaganza, a seafood night, a grand gala buffet, and it is all included in your fare. These are not always loudly announced, so check your daily program or ask a crew member if there is a themed buffet this voyage. Chocolate fountains, carved fruit, ice sculptures, the works. They tend to land late at night or on a sea day afternoon, so if you turn in early, ask when it is happening and plan around it because some ships do the big one just once the whole voyage. It feels like a premium event you would pay good money for on land, and you already did. Number 34, stop buying bottled water. What comes out of the tap on a cruise ship is filtered and perfectly safe to drink, often cleaner than the bottled stuff you would buy at home. Bring a refillable bottle and fill it for free at the buffet stations, or ask any bartender to top it up with ice and filtered water. Over a week, skipping the bottled water at a few dollars a bottle adds up to real money, and you stay hydrated on port days without a second thought. One small etiquette note, fill from a cup or ask the staff to pour rather than jamming your bottle against the dispenser for hygiene. On to drinks, the casino, in the corners of the ship where free is sometimes a sales pitch because you deserve the straight version of this. Number 35, free drinks at the right events. You do not always need a drink package to have a glass of champagne in your hand. Art auctions, the captain's welcome party, jewelry previews, boutique openings, and loyalty receptions all routinely pour free sparkling wine and cocktails to draw a crowd. You can turn up, enjoy a drink, and leave whenever you like with no obligation to buy. Now, here is my honest take because I do not want you walking in starry-eyed. The free wine at the art auction is bait. The pour is often cheap and a little rough, and the whole point of the room is to get you bidding on overpriced art you will regret shipping home. Go for the free glass and the people watching. Enjoy it for exactly what it is and keep your wallet shut. That is a perfectly good deal on your terms. Number 36, drinks while you play in the casino. The old rule was that the casino brings you free drinks while you gamble, and on some ships it still holds. But tread carefully because this one has tightened up a lot. Many lines now make you earn a fair number of points in the casino first before the free drinks start, and a few ships have cut casino comp drinks entirely, right down to the sodas, so treat it as a maybe, never a guarantee. If you are already playing a bit, it is worth flagging a server and asking, but do not sit down at a slot machine purely chasing a free soda. Number 37, learn to play for free. The casino intimidates a lot of people, and this is the gentle way in. Most ship casinos run free learn to play lessons, usually in the morning or while the casino is closed in port, where a dealer walks you through blackjack, roulette, or poker with no money on the table and no expectation that you ever gamble afterward. The whole point is to teach, not to take your money. Even if you never plan to play for real, it is a genuinely fun hour and you finally understand what all the fuss at the tables is about. Number 38, the casino offers that land in your inbox. Here is one that surprises people. If you do even a little playing in the casino with your player's card and your email on file, the line will often start sending you casino offers afterward, and some of them are remarkable. Cruisers report being offered heavily discounted, even nearly free, cabins with onboard credit and free slot play attached. I want to be clear that this is not guaranteed and the offers track how much you play, but it costs nothing to get on the list. For someone who enjoys a modest flutter anyway, those follow-up offers can turn into the cheapest cabin you ever book, and that is genuinely worth knowing. Now to the spa, the gym, and wellness, where a few things are free and a few are dressed up to look free. Number 39, the Embarkation Day Spa Samplers. On the first afternoon, almost every ship's spa offers free mini treatments to draw you in. A quick neck massage, a hand scrub, a little facial sample, a whiff of aromatherapy. They are genuinely free and they feel lovely. Let me be honest about what they are, though. It is a sales pitch designed to book you a full-price treatment later in the week. That does not mean you cannot enjoy it. Take the free 5-minute massage, smile, say you will think about it, and walk out relaxed and not a dollar poorer. Just go in knowing the soft sell is coming, and it is much easier to say no thank you. Number 40, the spa is cheaper in port. The regulars swear by this one. Spa treatments are usually discounted while the ship is in port because most passengers are ashore and the spa is sitting empty. Stop by and ask about port day specials, and you will often find massages and facials marked down a fair bit, sometimes with a free add-on like a scalp massage thrown in. Fewer crowds, lower prices, a calm ship. If you are going to treat yourself anyway, that is the window to do it, not on a packed sea day. Number 41, the free sauna near the gym. A lot of ships, especially older ones, hide a perfectly good sauna right in the gym locker room, completely free, totally separate from the paid thermal spa. And most people never realize it is there. They do not promote it because they would rather sell you the spa pass. Ask the fitness staff whether the locker room sauna is open for general use. If it is, you get the same warm, muscle-loosening relax that others paid hundreds for at no charge. Number 42, the gym showers. This is a quiet upgrade if your cabin bathroom feels like a phone booth. The showers in the fitness center locker rooms tend to be larger with stronger water pressure and often better soap and shampoo than your cabin gets. They are open to all guests, not only spa users. If you're sharing a cramped bathroom with your spouse and the line for the shower is backing up before dinner, head to the gym instead. You get more room, better pressure, and it costs you nothing. Number 43, the free fitness classes. A paid gym package is not required to join most group sessions. Many ships offer free stretch, yoga, Zumba, or pool aerobic sessions right there in the daily program, and they are gentle enough for any level. For our age group, these are ideal, low-impact movement, a bit of social time, and a nice way to ease into a sea day. Just ask at the gym which classes are complimentary because a few specialized ones do carry a fee, but most cost you nothing. Number 44, the free dance lessons. Ships run them through the week, ballroom, line dancing, a touch of salsa, led by the entertainment team and built for total beginners. There is no fee and usually no sign up, so just turn up a few minutes early. It is a genuinely fun, social way to spend an hour. You might pick up a step or two for the next formal night, and it is one of the easiest ways to meet other couples on board. Number 45, the enrichment talks and cooking demos. Beyond the gym, ships run free enrichment that most passengers skip right past, cooking demonstrations with the ship's chefs, talks on the ports you are about to visit, sometimes lectures on history, wildlife, or the night sky. The cooking demos often end with a taste of what was just made. These are listed in the daily program, easy to overlook, and they are some of the most pleasant, no-pressure hours on the whole ship. You generally walk out having learned something worth taking home, and on a sea day that beats another lap of the buffet, entertainment and the sea day activities come next. You have paid for a floating resort, so you may as well use all of it, and most of it is free. Number 46, movies, including Under the Stars. Most ships show free movies through the sailing, in an indoor cinema, a lounge, or on the big poolside screen after dark. There is no ticket ever. Recent releases, family favorites, the occasional classic. The poolside movies Under the Stars are a treat, and some ships even hand out blankets and popcorn. I will hedge that last part because on some lines it is free and on others they will charge you for the snacks, so do not assume. The movie itself is always included. Check the program for what is playing. Number 47, the big shows. The single biggest surprise for first-time cruisers is that the evening entertainment is free. Every night, the main theater puts on Broadway-style productions, live bands, comedians, magicians, musical reviews, all included in your fare with no ticket and no premium seating fee on most ships. Some of the newer ships run full productions that genuinely rival what you would pay a small fortune for on land. Check the show times and turn up 10 or 15 minutes early for a good seat. This is one of the best values in all of cruising, and people skip it to sit in the casino. Number 48, trivia and deck games with real prizes. Do not skip the trivia. It is always free to join. It is one of the easiest ways to meet people, and you can actually win things. Now, half the time the prize is a keychain or a luggage tag. I will not oversell it. But I have watched people walk away with bottles of champagne, ship-branded tumblers, caps, and tote bags, and the competition gets surprisingly fierce in the best possible way. The deck games and poolside contests work the same. It is free fun with the occasional bit of loot, and you meet half the ship doing it. Number 49, the library and the card room. Tucked away on most ships, usually on an upper deck, there is a quiet library and card room stocked with books, puzzles, board games, and decks of cards, all free to borrow. It is easy to miss if you are not looking for it. On a sea day, a comfortable chair by the window with a borrowed novel or a jigsaw on the go is one of the most relaxing free things on the whole ship, and a blissfully screen-free way to spend an afternoon. Number 50, the printed daily program. The ship is herding everyone onto the app, but you can still get a paper copy of the daily program and the menus delivered to your cabin every evening free just by asking your steward or guest services. If you do not have an internet package, or you would rather not squint at a phone all day, or you simply like circling the shows and activities with a pen the old-fashioned way, this is for you. A printed program waiting in your cabin each night is a small civilized pleasure, and all it takes is telling your steward you prefer paper. Number 51, cards, postcards, and stationery. Guest services often keeps branded playing cards, postcards, and little stationery sets stashed away for guests who ask, and they make a far nicer souvenir than anything in the gift shop. Just ask whether they have any postcards or playing cards. On some river and luxury lines, they will even mail your postcard home for you free. A deck of ship-branded cards for the grandkids, a postcard from a port, no cost, and most people never think to ask. Getting on the ship, getting off, and the ports come next, where a few free things save you real money and a good deal of stress. Number 52, the free shuttle into town. When the ship docks, it is easy to assume getting to the town center means a paid excursion or a taxi. But in a lot of ports, there is a free shuttle run by the local port authority or the tourism board, not the cruise line, which is exactly why the cruise line stays quiet about it, since they would rather sell you their own transfer. Ask a crew member or the port staff as you get off whether there is a complimentary shuttle and where it stops. Seating fills up, so go early and you can save a surprising amount just getting into town. Number 53, the port map and the honest advice. Before you book a single excursion, stop by guest services and ask for a free port map and a safe walking route. They will often mark the walkable areas, the sites actually worth your time, and quietly steer you away from the streets to skip the kind of honest local guidance no glossy brochure will ever give you. In a lot of ports, the town is closer and easier than it looks, and a 5-minute conversation can save you the price of a tour you never needed. For travelers nervous about wandering off in an unfamiliar place, that little map is also a lot of reassurance for free. Number 54, help getting on the tender. When the ship anchors offshore and ferries you in on small tender boats, the whole process can feel hectic, and for anyone a bit unsteady on their feet, it can feel genuinely nerve-wracking. The crew is there to help. Ask about courtesy assistance and a less crowded tender time, and they will guide you to a calmer boarding window, give you a steadying hand, and sometimes point you to a shorter line. They do not always announce it, but it is there for the asking, and it turns what feels like a stressful scramble into a calm, manageable step you do not have to dread on port mornings. Number 55, free souvenirs at the port talk. The port shopping talks are mostly a sales pitch for the stores that pay to be recommended, but here is the upside. To get you in the room, they hand out free stuff, tote bags, charms, keychains, sometimes store vouchers. Attendance is usually light, so your odds of walking out with something are good, and there is no obligation to buy a thing. Sit near the front, collect your freebie, and skip the shopping if you like. A small, easy keepsake for showing up. Number 56, a keepsake from the bridge. Hardly anyone thinks to ask for this lovely one. On many ships, you can request a certificate of passage and sometimes a copy of the day's navigational chart as a free keepsake, especially nice if it is your first cruise, a milestone birthday, or an anniversary at sea. Just ask at guest services. Years down the road, a framed certificate marking the crossing means a great deal more than another fridge magnet, and it costs you nothing but the question. Finally, money, loyalty, and the desks most people never visit because this is where the real dollars are. And number 60 is worth the wait because it is the only freebie on this whole list that once made a steward build a tower out of towels. Number 57, the money the ship hopes you forget. This is the one I told you to wait for. If you end your cruise with leftover onboard credit that came from your own pocket, money you prepaid, or a gift card or a deposit, you can very often get it refunded to you in cash or back to your card. The lines do not announce it, and a lot of people simply leave that last $15, $40, even $100 sitting on the ship for the cruise line to keep. Go to guest services on the final evening or early the last morning and ask to have your unused onboard credit refunded. If it came from a promotion, it may have to stay on the account, but if it was your own money, they will usually hand it right back. That is your own money, and most people simply hand it back to the cruise line by forgetting to ask. Number 58, the future cruise desk. Even with no idea when you will sail again, it is worth 5 minutes at the future cruise desk. Booking your next sailing on board or just buying a flexible future cruise certificate often comes with free onboard credit, reduced deposits, and booking bonuses you cannot get later online. You do not have to commit to a date or a ship. Many lines let you lock in the perks with a refundable deposit and decide the details whenever you like. Most people walk right past that desk. The smart ones treat it like a bonus counter. Number 59, the loyalty perks that start early. The common belief is that loyalty benefits only kick in after dozens of cruises, so people never check and they leave easy perks on the table. Even after a sailing or two, you may already qualify for priority boarding, an exclusive event with free drinks, or small onboard discounts. And here is the stacking trick. When you buy something in the shops, book an excursion, or eye a spa treatment, ask whether your loyalty discount applies, because it often does, and it frequently stacks on top of an onboard sale. One quiet question at the register can turn a regular purchase into a discounted one. Number 60, let them know you are celebrating, marking a birthday, an anniversary, a honeymoon, or any milestone. Tell the line when you book, and remind your cabin steward and dining staff when you board. Cruise crews love a celebration, and they will often quietly arrange a complimentary cake, a little cabin decoration, sometimes a small bottle of bubbly, and the dining room might bring out a dessert with a candle and a song. I sailed near a woman celebrating her 80th birthday, and her steward built a tiered tower out of towels with a small bottle of sparkling wine perched on top, just because the family had mentioned it when they boarded. It was the talk of the dining room, and it cost them nothing. None of it is automatic. All of it is free. You just have to mention it. So there they are, 60 things already sitting in your fare, waiting for someone to ask. And here is what I really want you to take from all of this, because I know the worry underneath it. A lot of us hesitate to ask the crew for things. We do not want to be a bother. We do not want to look like we are angling for a handout. We do not want to seem like we do not know what we are doing out here. Let all of that go. None of this is begging. The fare you paid already covers it. The crew expects these requests, they feel them all day long, and the only real difference between the passenger who gets the robe, the topper, the refunded credit, and the one who does not is a single polite question asked with a smile. The magic words on a cruise ship really are just, "Could I please?" You are not being cheap, you are being a seasoned traveler who knows what they are owed, and at our age, we have earned the right to be exactly that comfortable. So here is my one ask. Drop a comment with the freebie on this list that surprised you most, and add any I left off that you have talked your way into over the years. The first-timers planning their next cruise are down there reading, and the tip that saves them will probably come from you, not from me.